Hello everyone and welcome back to the Protestant Education channel. Today we are going to be talking about Baptist theologians. I know usually I try to have one video a week about one Protestant theologian, but this video is going to have a couple in here. This is because while many Protestant traditions have theologians they look up to and credit for their doctrines, Lutherans with Martin Luther, Methodists with John Wesley, Presbyterians with John Calvin and their divines, Anglicans have their divines, most prominently Richard Hooker, but the Baptists don't really have like a particular one or a particular group that they really point to as credited for their theology and doctrine. Zwingli can get thrown out sometimes, and while his reforms helped spark the debates that led to credo baptism, he was an ardent defender of infant baptism and opposed the groups that would go on to influence the Baptist tradition. He wasn't really a part of making the Baptist tradition. So before we do that, let's start with some core tenets of Baptist theology. It's kind of hard to nail down Baptist theology because of their doctrine on church polity. They believe that each congregation runs itself. I have a video about church government, I'll link below if you want to know more. They also believe in believers' baptism or credo baptism over pedo baptism. Baptists also tend to be very against nominal Christianity, but that's not a doctrinal thing, it's more of a cultural thing. They would call it lukewarm Christianity. But beyond that, doctrine tends to be decided by congregation. So instead of that, let's talk about three important Baptist theologians who will get their own videos at some point. Let's go all the way back to the 1600s with John Bunyan. So John Bunyan was a veteran of the English Civil War, and after his time in the army, he would get married and find an interest in ministry, and then he became a preacher. He spent most of his life in prison for preaching, but more on that in his own video, because today we're going to talk about his seminal work, The Pilgrim's Progress. The Pilgrim's Progress was widely spread in colonial America and would influence many American writers and theologians. The book was very Protestant and challenged the Anglican Church. That was the reason that he would be in jail. But Pilgrim's Progress significantly contributed to the mindsets of the denominations that would later on become the Baptists. So enough about him. Let's move forward about 100 years to Andrew Fuller. The same one, the one that Fuller Seminary is named after. So Andrew Fuller was a particular Baptist, which is the 1700s version of a Reformed Baptist. Baptists, Reformed or otherwise, have a particular focus on evangelism, just generally, broadly speaking. And Fuller was a big defender of evangelism, and at his time he really had to be. And this is because many particular Baptists started to believe in hyper-Calvinism, which made them think less of evangelism and, in a lot of cases, outright refusing to evangelize. Fuller fought to see the mission of evangelism out by training missionaries and starting the Baptist Missionary Society, which promoted missionary work within Baptist churches. Fuller would also argue that the gospel is meant for all, not just the elect. And in arguing that, he would be also defending evangelism. That was a lot of Andrew Fuller's life and work. But another thing to note is that he would debate his good friend Dan Taylor, and he would remain good friends with Dan Taylor. All in all, I think Andrew Fuller was just a great guy, good theologian. Well, yeah. Our last Baptist theologian for today is Charles Spurgeon, who was one of the first mass media preachers, if you will. His sermons would be widely distributed in print and were intentionally intellectually accessible to all. He would defend the Baptist confession of faith and combat people getting a lot looser with theology in his day. He is said to have been an amazing speaker, which is a pretty good trait to have as a preacher, and he was a major opponent of slavery at the time and faced a lot of controversy for it, including threats. But he stuck by his conviction that slavery was wrong. I think Spurgeon really defined what Baptist preaching would look like back in the day, back in those days, and he's still widely read today. So, yeah, sure, while Baptist theology can be hard to nail down, and they might not have as many clearly defined influential figures as our other Protestant traditions, here are a couple that I've found from Baptist history that had a major role in the world of Protestantism and influenced a lot of people. I encourage you to learn more about these figures on your own, but for today, that's just about all from me. So, with that, God bless you. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Yeah, and I will see you in the next video. Well, I forgot my own outro there. Yeah, let's see. Yeah.